All right, here we go. Late Night Happy Hour is up on a Tuesday. Adam Hill is here. Soren Petro, I think, watching MSNBC in the background. Man, I love what Soren has become. Not saying it's an improvement or a decline, but, man, he's really into this election. I texted him a little earlier. I'm like, dude, can you do this show tonight? Because we go at 9 o'clock Pacific. We've got, 5 or 6 states in question. I know he's super intense. Maybe not as intense as Adam Hill, Karnacki, King, Mattingly, as we're now calling him, the czar of the Las Vegas election telestrator. But tonight there's a lot to get to. So Adam's in, Petro's in. A very exciting night. What's up, everybody?
So I was late, right? So that is by a minute. I would point out that I was on from my time, 10:40 to whenever I texted you, hey, you getting in here? At 10:51. Then I started at 10:59. I'm in. Meanwhile, I'm trying to put out, fifth grade girls basketball fires, and got other things going on, and like the time slipped away from me. But I'm here. I'm ready.
I got sidetracked with the Mandalorian. My bad. I had to watch the Mandalorian. Got to put in some SO time. The funny thing is, SO is like, I can't deal with the election stuff. Let's watch Mandalorian. The second I stand up, I'm like walking to go upstairs to go do the podcast. She's like, what's going on?
The election.
Yeah, what Democrat and split? And I'm like, hey, yeah, that's out. Done. I'm out for 90 minutes.
Well, for the record, right? Like, my 14-year-old's an information junkie. Oh, yeah. And so every fact, she files it away. She, that's her thing. And so she's big on the election. Like right now, you want to know how the Electoral College works? You want to know its history? Where it came from, why, how it's evolved. Every little nuance, who has what, electoral votes and everything. She's got it all. Yeah. And so I set up, thanks to my guys at Applause Custom Sight and Sound, right? Much love here in KC. I have what originally was a football theater, but for the last 2 days has been election headquarters with like 4 channels going. So I come in here, I only have the one TV, so whatever receiver I turned on, that's what's on. But we had Fox going, right? You got to see what Fox is doing. You got to see what MSNBC, CNN. Yeah, that's all we have now because the local channels. I guess we could have gone to like, the BBC, I think might have one or something. Anyway, you got to have them all, and then you flip around to see what's going on, man. Stay on top of it.
Adam, wow. Adam, I don't think has slept in... Is it in the 40-hour range now? Did you get any sleep this morning?
Yeah, because I didn't want to. I wasn't going to, but I didn't want to be at Raiders practice, having not slept, especially because we have to do video there.
So sleep deprived.
I went around 7 a.m. I did I took a quick little nap and actually tweeted out like, sorry, I'm going to stop updating numbers for a little bit here and take a nap. Because as it turned out, like I decided to actually like I do this as a hobby. Like as you're making the jokes about Karnacki and stuff, but like that's what I do. I'm just like immersed in data and live results. So like I'm sitting right now on my computer that's on in front of me, like here. I've got these 2 laptops that were going, both with basically just state like raw numbers that I had all called up on all the like I had every battleground state. Just the raw numbers kind of coming in, and I've got the screen behind you, behind my phone here, that had like TV on, had one channel on, and then the TV over there had another channel on. So I mean, I had pretty much everything, and just kind of grinding out numbers, and then I was tracking the online betting market because I always think that's a very interesting part of the dynamic that's undercovered, and I was like, at some point, like I was kind of staying out, like I wasn't really putting it out there because usually I just do it for myself. And then I realized like you have Twitter, you can kind of experiment a little. And I was throwing a bunch of stuff out there last night, and it turned out like, and I appreciate that. I did a great job. Like I got a bunch of texts this morning from people that were like, dude, I followed the election through your tweets. Like people that I didn't know would pay attention, like kind of prominent people in the sports world.
You mean like Jed Marshall, my producer, who was following the election through your tweets here in Kansas City?
That's great.
Not really.
The show open was about, I think Adam was included in the show open about his Obsessive election coverage.
Well, and then I actually now in retrospect, I think I know what happened. But I'm kind of proud of the fact that I think it was around 5:30 in the morning. I sent a tweet and I said, "This is really weird, but I can't find any more votes in Wisconsin. Like I can't find any outstanding votes. I don't know where they would come from." I was like, "It's over. Like Biden has won the state and nobody's saying anything." And so I kind of sent that tweet out, just let it sit there. In retrospect, I think all the decision desks had probably gone to bed.
Right.
It was 8:30 on the East Coast.
Not your decision desk.
No, not me. Hell no.
13 and a half hours into it, he was going strong.
So I think that's what happened there, because I was like, why am I so far ahead of like the game on this? And it turned out, I guess, that might have been what it was, that they were just sleeping. But I had a great time with it.
And I know both of you guys have come across this. Like, how great is it when you do research or you do something and you're like, wait a minute, this is like the first time this has ever happened. But then you're like, is this really, am I the one who has this? Like, am I the one?
Yeah.
Or when you go to break a story and you get it and it's like, well, this is the guy that's making it happen and he's telling me this has happened. So I'm not wrong about this, but you still have this hesitation, like, am I going to do this? And then you do it, and then here comes the avalanche of everything behind you. You're like, okay, yeah, I had it. That's a satisfying feeling. It's a little scary.
Oh, dude. Right? Anytime you break as a journalist, and anytime you break a story, and like that's kind of different than this is what we're talking about here, but like you're breaking a story, nobody else has it, it's exclusive or whatever, and you're like looking around like, I hope this is like it's right.
I was saying, like you have the guy who makes the decision is like, this is happening. You have it. It's nailed. You know it. But you're still sitting out there. I remember there was a story I broke not long ago, and it just sat out there. And I'm like, I said, at this time, this meeting will happen, and then this decision will happen. And as soon as it was that time on the meeting, it was like the next day, I start getting bombarded on Twitter. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Right? I'm like, no, the meeting's happening now. The decision will be announced later. And so for like 90 minutes, you're in no man's land. Like, and then it comes out and it's like, okay, all right. Here we go.
Yeah. So I even hedged that tweet. I think what I said, I can go find it, I guess. But what I think I said was, I can't find any more votes in Wisconsin. I think they're 100% done. Joe Biden is ahead. He has won the votes. And I was like, but I obviously, like, this is not what I do. Like, I might be missing something.
Right.
It turned out that was the final vote.
The AP called it at like 9:30 Kansas City time. So 2 hours later, with the first person I heard somebody say Wisconsin was done was the AP. I got a text from a friend of mine who said, hey, in fact, it might have been Curtis who took the day off, right? That's how sick he is. He had the day off because he said,
oh, did he?
Oh, yeah. He's I'm going to be up all night and I'm either going to be ready to, go drown myself or I'm going to be delirious. And instead, he's in no man's land and in limbo all day today, or kind of in limbo. And so, yeah.
This was Adam reluctantly jumped on the stream last night, and that's the way he looked at the beginning of it. He was just like, he's so down in the dumps. Around 6:30 in the evening.
Why was he down in the dumps? Like, what are you saying?
Because when he came on, I mean, it was Biden was down really, really big in Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia, Pennsylvania. About 4 hours before that, because we've been exchanging texts and numbers and all this stuff on a thread, and Adam just tweeted, like, after some hope, he's just like, I'm fucking devastated. I was like, all right.
Well, and here's the other part of this, because I still at this time right now, as we are sitting here, Joe Biden has won the election. It's over. He got more votes. He has more electoral votes. He will never be the president of the United States.
Adam believes this between. Trying to control these lunatics, like the protesters are starting to line up, which again, you have every right to protest. But once you start messing with the count or a recount, then you have every right to be blasted in the face with a pepper ball, just like other protesters were. I don't want to see that on either side. I think everyone should be able to go out and peacefully protest, but that's part of the issue. And then, Adam, you think what? This eventually is going to go on several fronts right to the Supreme Court?
Well, and that's why I was devastated, because even yesterday, as I was on the stream, what I was saying like I'm miserable, but I do believe that I do believe Biden's going to win, but I'm still miserable because it needed to be a complete blowout. And here's we're getting close. We're getting close to it. I mean, they just went on right now and said, they're filing the suit to get all the mail-in ballots in Pennsylvania thrown out, and they're going to lose in the Pennsylvania court, of course, because it's a fucking ridiculous argument, and it's going to go to the Supreme Court. And then what are they going to do? You know what they're going to do. They'll be like, okay, now you got to throw them out.
I will disagree on a couple fronts. One, that it needed to be a blowout. I think for the country needs to be able to work its way through a close election. And sometimes you got to have the car crash to be able to improve the car, right? And so if that's what happens, and I'm not saying that there's like that I don't think there's 0% chance that through some legal finagling, what appears to be now the loser, you say it's done. I don't think it's done, at least what I've seen, but it's pointing a direction, right? But I think sometimes as a country, you got to go through a car crash. And I remember in 2016, everybody thought everyone who was a Democrat thought the world was over. And how would we survive for 4 years? And here we sit on election night. And I think, it's possible that maybe it has to get worse before it gets better, right? And I think it's clear the political system is broken. No matter which side you're on, it's broken. It should not be this dysfunctional, and it should not be decided in courts. But that's where we're at for whatever reasons. But I still will say that I have some faith in the country and some faith that some people will come to their senses. And there were two rulings that did not go the way Trump and the Republicans wanted it.
Incorrect. Okay. They sent it back. So it was, and by the way, 4-4. And now ACB is there. And which way do you think she's voting? And so if you read the dissenting opinion on that, they were basically like, have the election first and then bring it back to us. Like the dissenting opinion was basically like, yeah, we agree with you. We'll throw these out, have the election first and then bring it back here. I'm just, and this isn't the only path. Like they're going to figure something out. I just know they are. And it's here, but like I'm getting into that, and like I know, like that is in my mind was what's going to happen. But I also am a little bit heartened tonight because you are starting to see it turn a little bit. There are some people on the Republican side just being like, "All right, bro, we had our fun, we got our justices, okay." Like if they stick together and if they stay as Trumpy as they have been the last 4 years, like Trump will stay in office. But there is a little bit of a break in the chain today, which I kind of like.
I will tell you that I think everybody holds the team line, right? The party line until they're backing a loser. And if anybody's got any doubt that they're backing a loser, then I think they'll bail. And I think you've already you saw people bailing coming down the stretch run. So
lawsuit filed in Georgia.
Oh, they're being filed. Michigan. Wisconsin.
President Trump and his team are fighting for the good of the nation to uphold the rule of law. Georgia's law is very clear. To legally count, mail ballots must be received by 7 p.m. on Election Day. It's still a law, even after Democrats sued earlier this year to extend the deadline and delay Election Day. We won that in court. Today, a Republican poll observer witnessed 53 late ballots illegally added to a stack of on-time absentee ballots. Will not allow this to stand. Illegal ballots should not be counted. They all must be thrown out now. So they're just basically saying, like, you know what? We don't know how many of them are fake.
Don't you think there's a
throw them all out?
Don't you think there's a point where, even though Supreme Court justices now have become as polarized politically as, any other politician, it seems, there is a point where there is a respect for the law and what's right?
Ordinarily, yes, but 3 of them are his. Like, you think I like beer guy Kavanaugh is going to be like, you know what? I'm here for the rule of law. And do you also, like, we know how transactional Trump is. He doesn't have any beliefs. He's just transactional. What can you do for me? You don't think that when he brought him in and he interviewed him for the job, he's like, all right, listen, you can have the job for the rest of your life, but whatever I bring for the election, you're ruling in my favor. And look back at September 24th. September 24th is just over a month ago. And he said, we need to get Amy Coney Barrett seated, approved, and on there because she's going to have to decide the election. Like this was planned all along.
I don't deny that that's his plan, but I will question whether or not everybody will follow his plan once he's a loser.
Oh, you're right, and that is part of it. Is that like no matter what deals he cut or whatever he may have done, like there is a chance that now that they're on the court, they're going to be like, I'm not going to be a part of this. Like, no, we're rejecting this. There is that chance, and like I said, if there's more of a break in the in the party, and there is more of like all right, listen, we had our fun for 4 years, we got our 3 justices, we got a bunch of tax things approved, like we're good. So like, there is a chance that they break.
So let me ask you this. I, as a guy who's a registered independent, right? But I'll pick a side when it comes time to pick a side. Does the fact that Fox News is like did no election coverage tonight and just talked their theme as I watched tonight was they all said it was going to be a landslide. Haha, this wasn't a landslide.
Well, first of all, it's going to be.
Well,
he's gonna win by 7 or 8 million.
My point is that programming was no longer about the election, and it was all about how.
Okay, but I saw Hannity, who did like 15 minutes about how the election was fixed and rigged, and we can't let this stand. And Laura Ingraham said the same thing. Now she did break a little bit into hey, listen, they fixed the election, we can't let this stand, we've got to fight it. But also, he's still just as powerful out of office as he is in office anyway. Like, so there was that little break, but they are all going all in on this nonsense, stolen election garbage. Like they're all still part of it. So I mean, I agree with you. And by the way, Fox News isn't even their thing anymore. They're Newsmax and OAN. Like that's their world. Like Fox News is way too centrist now. And tonight the crowd in Maricopa County is chanting "fuck Fox News." It's a Trump crowd chanting "fuck Fox News."
Well, listen, in Maricopa County, they're chanting "count the vote." And
in Detroit, stop the vote.
No, let them finish though. In Arizona, it's amazing.
In Arizona, they're chanting "count the vote," all wearing MAGA, right? And then go to Pennsylvania, and it's
Detroit. It's Detroit.
Or Detroit, yes. Stop the count.
But now it's back to count. Because now they're behind. And have you guys seen this? The scene from Veep season 5?
No.
Where this happened?
No.
People are circulating it everywhere now because it's so perfect. It's just so hilarious that she's running for president, and the same situation develops, and they go into the Supreme Court and they say that you need to count all these votes. Like you need to make sure you count these votes. We've got to count them. And then they during the course of the argument, the count switches. And now they're ahead. And so the lawyer for her, she's like, you know what? I've changed my mind. You know what? Let's just stop right now. And they had a fake grassroots committee outside, like chanting, count the votes. And they sent somebody to run out and say, change the chant, say stop the count. Like it's almost this. It's life imitating art. It's insane. It's just crazy.
Shame on Fox! Shame on Fox! Shame on Fox!
Shame on Fox!
Yep. Let me punch it up. So awesome.
Profanity. Shame on Fox.
No, they've done like 50 different chants though.
We're a country that needs to protest.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Is that a riot or is it a protest?
That's a protest.
I do think the media, the shamelessness of the media, like to see where they go. Like, how do you recapture your audience if you've lost it already early? Although I don't think Fox's ratings are hurting.
Sorry. I
do like the one. Thanks, Chad. I'm on point. I like that one. But Serena's a homer. Like what? I don't understand. What am I? It's a KC thing.
I don't do it.
I can't. You got to explain to me how I'm a homer.
People are just idiots. I
think it's sarcasm is what I think it is. But
Well, I had the one earlier today where I tweeted out live odds, and somebody was like, "Leave your politics out of this. I'm unfollowing you." Like, what? I just literally tweeted out odds.
See, I don't tweet any
odds from the book.
I don't tweet any politics.
Oh, Adam does.
Well, I know. So does Curtis.
But people know what to expect. I mean, if they're really, I mean, if you still get stick to sports, it's just absurd. Come on.
Yeah. What?
Well, I mean, I also believe that the unfollow button exists.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like it's Adam's timeline to do with what he wants.
This is a great question from Chad. How do you guys feel about the media blaming the media?
Which way?
I'll say I don't care which way. I think people who do that, for the most part, maybe there's some cases where it's warranted, but 98% of the time, go fuck yourself if you're turning on the media. You're either on the team or you're not.
Well,
that's it.
I would. Yes, I would.
There are things I will critique with it, but it's not but I will. It's never going to be like, don't trust them. They're an enemy of the people. If you hear someone saying that,
yeah, but that's not what he's talking about. He's not talking about like Trump saying don't trust the media. He's talking about media blaming other media.
Right.
So that to me, that's the Fox MSNBC battle. Like I do enjoy and even CNN's in there as well. I do enjoy the dueling banjos of showing each other's video and blasting each other. Like, oh, look what's said over here. And, it's always a snippet that's this long and, they have a chance to make their point. And they listen, to the point, what do I think about the media on media? For the most part, I think we're not supposed to be the story.
Right.
So I don't think media should never be talking about media. But when media does become the story, and I think you've got, certainly, I think it's become where you clearly have, channels, and you can say, well, that channel's way worse than that one, or they're just there to counterbalance. Everybody, we all have our sides, and we work backwards from that. But I mean, clearly there's issues in the media, and I will say that the media's problems began with the selling out of the media. I mean, like when one side just starts to not produce the truth in an effort to make more money because they found out that, oh, okay, this works, then
right,
we're in trouble and we deserve some of the shit we get.
Touche.
What do you think differently?
No, I don't. I was going overboard. I was kind of going micro instead of macro.
Bang, right there.
So we get any updates, Adam?
Yeah, what do you got for us, Adam?
Nope, nothing. I'm trying to look. It sounds like, which is just so ironic and hilarious, that Maricopa County has just said, like, you know what? We're not safe. We're not counting anymore.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to not count.
Right.
But, like, for tonight, they're like, because the people are trying to get inside. The point of those people, the protesters, they want inside because they want to supervise the counting of the ballots.
Right.
And so
media members are allowed inside with cameras to show you what's going on.
And members of each campaign.
Yes.
It's not like they're just people, like some people just doing it on their own. Yeah. Members of the campaign are in there. And so but these people want in, so they're trying to force their way into the building. And they're also trying to attack anybody that leaves work. So
that would then be a riot, would it not?
Yeah.
What's been deemed a riot in other circumstances.
Sure.
Okay. So make sure.
So yeah, it looks like they might have stopped for the night.
Well, that's that. At least they gave it a shot. Unlike Nevada,
okay. I keep firing back at people.
This is such misinformation on Nevada.
Of course,
this was the plan the entire time.
Yes, their plan was to get everybody else done so that hopefully it would all be riding on them and they can be the center of attention.
I don't think it's.
There's a part of that.
I don't think it's right now. We're going to benefit from that. We're certainly going to benefit from it in the future. But no, it was said on election night. You're not going to get results until freaking Thursday morning at 9 a.m. And we got inundated by no
update
by mail and votes that got dropped off.
Come on, Steve. No update. Here it is. Here's 2%. Sink your teeth
into
shit and put out there at 8,000 votes apart because everybody else gives updates. As it comes in, they put it out there.
Who cares what everybody else does?
What was this? The fucking
No
lotto
fucking
balls?
rules. We're organized.
Is this the lotto balls? We're all
Not this
sitting around
goddamn
to see which
chaos.
ones come up out of the tube with Nevada. What the fuck?
Yeah,
No
they may announce. Like, what's the point of like? All right, we counted 48 more votes. It went, 37 to 11. What's the point? Announce once a day. And they started to feel pressure. Everybody's trying to pressure them to make announcements today. And they're like, okay, fine, we'll announce. And then they said, no, we're not doing it. We'll do it in the morning. But they are indeed. We have cameras down there. They are working through the night, counting. They're just going to announce once a day.
ICG page listened to the program today. I pointed out that there should not be a shortage of people to count the ballots. There should be plenty of strippers available coming through ballots, because I know that they're not at full capacity in the strip clubs, right?
Depends where you go.
That's right. If you have some old licenses and you can really operate more as a bar. There's been a couple of places here that have been humming the whole time.
I think there's 7. No, not the whole time, but I think there's 7 that are operating as bikini bars right now.
Right, New Jersey style.
So what is the bikini on their face as a mask, or
no? They wear masks.
Yeah.
For sure they do.
What is the bikini? Are we worried that it's?
Well, they just. I mean, what's the? You're not going to have like lap dances. You can't be like close contact to somebody.
Oh, okay. I see.
That's Jersey style. I've told you in the past, New Jersey, where I grew up, is the worst strip club state in the country because they're wearing fucking bikinis or lingerie. It's a waste of time. Why I had to get the hell out of there.
Confirmation, by the way, that Maricopa County has stopped counting ballots. They said it sounds like they saw enough guns in the crowd that they were like, all right, we're not doing this anymore. Like, this is stupid. And it's an open carry state. It's legal, but
I think it's really insulting. I don't understand why law enforcement's not there cleaning things up. I seriously, brought it up.
Done? Hold on. What can I answer that question?
Sure.
Do I need to?
What? There's gonna be a slaughter?
No. What color is the crowd?
Yeah, I get it. I'm still gonna broach the topic, and we.
If they shut down the boat and did not call out, for what, shields and body armor and batons? They didn't do it when white people circled the state capitals.
I think. By the way, just I'll back this up by
entered the state capitals with automatic rifles.
14 minutes ago, tweet from Martin Luther King's daughter. By the way, so two great minds, Soren Petro, Martin Luther King's daughter, Bernice. Imagine for a moment if there were a large gathering of armed black people outside a ballot tabulating location in Arizona. Imagine the police presence and violence toward that group and the calls for law and order nationally. The democratic process is being disrupted. Like, yes, for sure. It's so true.
I mean, we're laughing at it because we have to, but it is something that needs to be fixed.
Of course.
For situations like this, law enforcement needs to be consistent. And if someone hears me saying that and they're like, "You're anti-law enforcement," no, I'm pro law and order. I'm pro rule of law. Be fucking consistent. Then people feel like law enforcement around this country has the back of all of us in these situations. I mean, those people inside the building, they don't deserve protection. I mean, they're getting protected because they shut it down, but they're afforded a different level of protection from local law enforcement. That ain't right. By the way, down the road, and here's the thing: I think we got a good idea of what the true referendum of the country is. A lot of people were not upset by what went down on many fronts. The last 4 years, they came out in droves to support what has happened. But there, in many parts of this country, the sheriff is elected. People need to remember this stuff and the sort of consistencies that were dealt out and inconsistencies when they go to vote for sheriff or local law enforcement. Shouldn't forget, because you could easily be affected by it. If any of us were walking in a crowd and they're like, well, it looks like the kind of crowd, we're going to go after instead of the kind of crowd we're going to protect. Guess what? Weren't in the end, who did Rittenhouse wind up gunning down? Wasn't it 2 white dudes?
Yeah.
Didn't matter there. When, they picked the path of, hey, we're not going to protect anyone. So all these white folks out there are like, we're safe. We'll be good. Maybe not. Wrong place, wrong time. Be careful.
No, it's listen, those are the things that have to be addressed and have to be fixed. And those are the things that are frustrating is hypocrisy. And that's, to go back to the media thing, there are questions that need to be asked. And when you're a news organization and you don't ask the questions that need to be asked,
right.
Just, that's a problem. Right. And that's where it's gone to. That like, okay, we're team this, so we lob softballs at our guy and we attack the other guy. And then now you can't even get the other guy on because he knows he's not going to get a fair shake. So that's a major problem in the media. Yeah. I mean, that's a Kansas City reference to a person who works in the media in Kansas City or did work in the media.
Your audience is still amped up about Kevin Keatsman. Yeah, obviously,
I try not to get into the media on media shit. I try to just do my thing.
Yeah, I don't think Rittenhouse was able to vote. He's 17, and which state? So,
well, he voted in seven different states. By the way, here I will also ask.
That was the comedy, Steve. That was the point.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will also ask.
The subtlety is what makes it. When I blurt out the guy's name, then it ruins it. My bad.
I would also ask any complete fucking moron who thinks the election was fixed, who thinks Democrats stuffed the ballot box. They did. Why on earth wouldn't the Democrats also win the Senate if they were stuffing ballots? You think they'd be like, let's do enough to win the presidency, but let's not stuff enough to win the Senate here. That would be really crazy. Like it's the dumbest. It's the dumbest fucking shit ever. And people are like, I think they threw a bunch of ballots in there. Yeah, without voting for the right senator.
Now, there's a solid debate to be had that the real president is Cocaine Mitch. Seriously, with the kind of power he wields. I mean, right?
Yeah, there's a lot to it. Yeah. There's a lot to it. All right, so give me your bets. Because I know my buddy Eager at Pro Football Focus had action all over the place. What did you have, Adam?
So I talked to some bettors. I think we talked a little bit about this on the show last night, but talked to some bettors on Monday night who really wanted my insights, like where to go, where to put the money. I said I actually thought there was decent value with Biden at 180, but my best bet was Florida at 155, which actually wasn't a great number because I guess last week
minus 155 for
Trump. Trump at 155.
Okay.
I also told him, which held up now, but it was scary for a while. He was freaking out on me a little bit. Even Trump's internal polls, which I kind of got access to, which is great. Even Trump's internal polls had him losing Michigan and Wisconsin. Like he never thought he could win Michigan and Wisconsin.
Then why was he stopping in there all the time?
Well, here's a very weird fact about Trump. Very superstitious.
Okay.
And so he went back to the Grand Rapids because he went there last time.
That was his final stop last time.
It was final stop last time, so he went back there again. Or it was like around the same time or the same day. It was some weird connection to the last campaign. So he's incredibly superstitious. But he didn't think he could win Michigan.
While Adam goes through his theory of who he gave advice to, I actually did bet. So here's my bets.
He did.
No, I mean, it's interesting.
But I don't have an offshore account.
Yeah. I have my ways. I bet Republican control of the Senate. At the time, I got plus 115. When I looked at that, I'm like, are we serious? Trump wins Arizona was even. We'll see how that turns out.
You have Trump?
I do.
You're still in the fight.
These are all Trump bets, and I was 6-1 last night as of like 8 o'clock. So it's all turned. Damn, I'm gonna lose money. Yeah, Trump wins Arizona.
Win.
Sure. Trump wins Florida was only minus 160 to Adam's point. It was 155 where he saw it. Yeah, I never believed Michigan or Wisconsin were like some massive blowouts. Bullshit. So I had
Trump in those two.
I had Trump to win Michigan plus 240. I had Trump to win Wisconsin plus 240. I had Trump to win North Carolina even, and I had Trump to win Pennsylvania. Believe it or not, the number to win Pennsylvania was 155. So I had all Trump bets. So last night I was 6-1. I may wind up 2-5.
So
you could you could get Trump in Pennsylvania right now at plus 375 if you want.
Is that right?
Yeah.
The odds makers obviously have the best information, right? That's why when people, think, you don't think so?
No.
Their odds reflect exactly what has happened.
Right, but they're using polls.
They're better than the ones that most people.
Oh no, they're clearly. Clearly, Wisconsin hit a max supposedly of 17-point lead.
But that was an
Biden.
outlying poll.
That was one outlying poll, but there were still plenty that were that were 8 points and
8, 10, and 12.
Yeah,
and I was getting 240 in those states.
There were polls
they're clearly
saying that the Democrats were up in Florida too.
Yeah, I never believed that one. Sorry to
go. That's my point. So okay, so you didn't believe it, and clearly neither did Vegas, based upon the odds they were putting up there.
Well, and there is
we can't.
The odds makers.
There is reasons for the polls being off too, and it's things that I don't know how they fix going forward. I don't know how to solve them. I mean, obviously, it's difficult to communicate with people that don't answer their phone, and you know that it's a spam call, so you're not going to answer it. That's tough. But even further than that, even beyond that, Wisconsin has same-day registration, and it looks like a massive portion of the Trump vote was same-day registration. And so you would never sample those people when you're doing a poll. Somebody that's not even registered to vote, that's never voted before, you would never sample that person.
Let me say this: the pollsters. That's another one I saw on Fox tonight. Was like the polls are shit. The pollsters don't know what they're doing. No, the polls are what they are. They're polls. They're not the fucking election.
Right.
Okay, so don't get on them because they didn't predict the fucking election. They predicted. They didn't. They don't even predict shit. They just return what fucking answers they got. So if you get 200 crank yankers that fucking say Biden, 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 and they're going to vote Trump, or Trump, 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 and they're going to vote Biden, it fucks it all up. It's a reflection. Are the polls fucked? Yes, they're fucked because we don't respond. Either a bunch of us don't answer them, or we don't answer them truthfully, right? The polls aren't fucked. It's just that we no longer have a truly super accurate indicator of what people are going to do when they vote. It doesn't mean that the polls are wrong. The polls have no opinion. They're math based. How many people pressed 1? How many people pressed 2? It's as simple as that. It's like when we do a thing called the feud, where we take a vote and we say, okay, we put a question out there. And usually it's not controversial, but sometimes it can be kind of controversial. People are like, well, that's just bullshit. I'm like, well, it's a scientific poll. It's not scientific. I saw such and such poll had this or that. I'm like, no, it's completely fucking scientific. It's a scientific fucking poll of people who follow me and responded to it. There's no non-science to it, right? There may be a billion people. There are billions of people that don't follow me on fucking Twitter and don't answer the poll. I'm not saying that this is, hey, here's what the whole world thinks. This is what people who follow me and saw the poll and took the time to answer it say. That's 100% scientific.
Yes, for sure. But two more things. Well, I would say that it's not scientific if you don't have a control group and you don't do full experiment.
No, it's 100. I do have a control group. The control group is people who follow me, who saw the poll and answered it.
That's not what a control group means.
It's scientific.
That's the experiment. That's the experimental group.
No, but my point is when people say, well, your numbers are fucked, you're trying to get an answer. No, I'm not doing shit. I put a generic question out. Because that's the other thing about the polls. The other polls are, it sits there and it says, do you prefer this whacked out fucking plan that's got going nowhere, or this completely educated plan that's going to do this, this, and this? You can tell when you're getting a Republican pollster, if you've ever taken the time to listen to it.
I have.
Or a Democratic one, or one that seems to be trying to be independent. There's some that are so obviously trying to get you to vote one way. Yeah. They stake one side of shit. And so, if you put a generic, fair question up there, you're getting a scientific poll. It's just it's just what slice of the people are you polling?
Yeah. So the other part of what's wrong with the polls, because not only was the Wisconsin one stuff because of that, Florida was a disaster because of the Cubans, and that sounds racist as fuck.
Wait a second. What I mean?
It's because there was a massive swell of Cuban Trump support, which wasn't really tough to figure out, or which was tough to figure out, but we understand why that happened.
We do.
Well, a couple of reasons. First of all, Biden has been sold as a socialist, and they are so anti-Castro in Cuba, as you would expect. that they did it. And as we learned today, we totally missed this. We totally missed the fact, and Steve saw the documentary, so he knows this, how powerful Spanish language radio is in that market with the Cuban demographic.
Sure.
And what we didn't know is a massive amount of the Trump money went into Spanish language radio commercials that were complete disinformation, that were basically like, hey, you might not know because you don't watch the news in America, you don't watch English speaking news, but Biden is trying to install socialism in America and communism. It's going to be just like Cuba. And they played it over and over and over and over again. And it completely, like, the Miami-Dade numbers were nothing like anybody had ever seen because that was an effective strategy. So that was
I'll bring up one other thing, Adam, from the 537 votes documentary by Billy Corbin. If it were me, because I have a long memory, if I felt like in 2000, the Elian Gonzalez thing, if I was so angry, right, at Democrats for doing what they did, sending Elian Gonzalez back, I would never forget that. I would probably never cross the aisle again. So I think even a small percentage of people who remember that in 2020, because that swayed that election in a big way in Miami-Dade, like, I would never forget. So,
and here's the other thing, and we're pointing out some anomalies in the polling. Polling actually isn't that bad. Like, if you go back and look at 2016, they were close almost everywhere except Michigan and Wisconsin. They figured out some irregularities in Michigan, which I have talked about. But look, Michigan, the polling average, the RCP polling average, which is the best one to look at, the polling average going to the election was Biden +4. Biden's going to win by 3.
Where?
In Michigan.
In Michigan, okay.
Michigan is +4. He's going to win by 3. Like, that's not far off. And by the way, they always tell you margin of error in this poll is 3.4. So that's way within the margin of error.
Listen, I'm a defender of the polls. They are what they are, right? They're a tool. The problem is everybody wants to find one thing that gave them the answer to everything, and that's not life. It doesn't work like that.
So, Adam, how does Trump get Nevada and Arizona?
How does
again, like Petro mentioned about a half an hour ago, the counterintuitive, the folks who are Trump folks in Arizona, why are you stopping the count? Like, this is how you're going to come back. You want them to count.
Well, but they don't want to stop the count. They want to see the count.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Well,
put a fucking video board out front, and watch guys load pieces of fucking paper into a fucking computer. There you go. I mean, turn on your fucking TV. It's on the fucking TV. They're showing them. I mean, that's
how does Trump get the comeback in both states, Adam? You've been crunching the numbers.
So Arizona's interesting because there is a lot of vote out in Maricopa County, but there's also some other counties, and there's 3 sets of votes that happen in Arizona. There's the early vote, a lot of places, but there's the early vote. There's the same day vote when you go to the polling place on Tuesday, and then there's obviously the mail votes. But they have been coming in at different spots. They don't know exactly where the mail-in vote is from. That is still outstanding, but they do know that the majority of it is from Maricopa County. The early vote was breaking pretty Democratic. The same day vote broke about 60% for Trump, and so far it's been about that, about like 56 for Trump. But that first batch that came in tonight of 75,000 was 59, and as you know, Steve, because I know we were talking about it, he needs to get about 60% of what's out there with the mail-in votes that are still counting to win. And he got 59.
What do you have on Cochise County? Trump. I actually have the numbers in front of me. 76% of the vote is tallied. Trump's at 57%. Biden is down by 7,700. We're not going to go that deep. We'll leave that to the experts.
You're going county by county. No, that's not. Yeah.
Well, the amazing thing when you watch the coverage on TV, like between I was watching a lot of CNN, between Wolf Blitzer and Chris Cuomo, like they got their stat guy John King and then Mattingly, and they're fucking down their throats. And I saw Mattingly overnight was like, all right, like looked at Chris Cuomo like, Jesus Christ, I'm trying to say it, like. Slow down.
Well, that's a Chris Cuomo issue. A lot.
And honestly, I don't think Wolf listens. Like I think Wolf's got something going on, and he's like he's all discombobulated and He's lost.
I
I also think Cuomo was on the air for like 12 hours.
To the path, your point about the path for Trump in Arizona, as I understand it, is that like the Democrats sounded the alarm 7 days out and said, stop mailing them. Right. So there's this perception, and it seems to be holding true in Pennsylvania, that every mail-in vote or 8 out of every 10 mail-in votes are Biden votes. But they sounded the alarm hard was 7 days ago, like, shit, we don't want your vote to come in late. And so Democrats started taking theirs. Like, that's what we did. We didn't want to, my first of all, much love for all postal workers because I love the post office. And
rocking a hard place.
I get all my shit gets to me through the post office, and they're great. I love the postal workers. And, my guy, and I think it's a lady, my guy and gal that deliver I keep seeing them at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, man. And that's bullshit. But they're there, man. They're plugging away. And so I am very frustrated about anybody jacking with the post office because I love the post office. But
I think what you're getting at is the Democrats told people to stop sending them because they were worried.
And so now
Republicans kept sending them.
Yeah, the thought is that alarm was not being sounded on the Republican side. So we're finding in Arizona there's a lot more mail-in Republican votes that are coming in now. So that's how he can do it. I think Arizona's scaring the hell out of the Democrats, and that's why Georgia and Pennsylvania become so big. It's Democrats minus 180 in Arizona.
No, he's commenting on the goddamn freaking stat guys. Idiot.
Steve Kornacki is so much better than John King, and John King was getting so much love yesterday. Steve Kornacki is one of the best personalities on television. That guy is
that the MSNBC guy?
Yeah.
And you like him over the CNN guy?
Yeah, stiff ass John King. Fuck that guy.
Then
what? I actually, as I watch,
will be fighting.
I like John King because he's a calming, and like while Wolf, Blitzer, and freaking Cuomo are like going crazy doing cornholio, he's like, calm down. Votes are coming in. Here's what could happen. Like he just has to keep repeating it.
But the votes are still out. That's why we count them. That's why we wait.
That's what it was. It was like we're still like we have to count the votes, and he might have said it.
Got an advantage. He figures to get more points, right? Get more votes. But we'll wait. We'll see. We'll count them. That's why we do it. That's how it's an election. The popular vote is this. It's not how we elect presidents. It's okay to have more than one guy. Not everything has to be a fucking contest. And a couple of guys do it different ways. I like bouncing around. I like getting the different ones. Kornacki, man, I will tell you this: he's gonna have back problems because that fucker never stands straight. He is always leaning into the thing and leaning into the board. He better think about getting the shoulders back every now and then. Stand up.
He's so good.
I
don't think he ever went to bed. I think he's still on.
I like both of them.
I actually think the problem with John King is that his supporting cast is so bad. It's just a disaster.
Who's the although they've barely gone to him tonight. Who's the guy on Fox?
The main guy that does it?
No, that does whoever's doing it tonight. I don't know. I don't know anybody's name. So I'm just bouncing around like, oh, is that the gray-haired guy that wears the suit? Looks like he's kind of a lifter. Thanks.
I only know the decision desk guy that they keep trotting out to yell at.
Is it always
yeah, the guy that was like, all right, we've called it for Biden. They're like, why would you do that? And he's like, I mean, the math just tells us what to do, and we do it. And like, you're an idiot. He's like, it's the computer. What are you gonna do? I don't know what to tell
you. Don't kill the messenger. You know?
Yes.
By the way,
Adam, I was going to say, Adam, did you explain Nevada and the turnaround for Trump? I mean, it's close, so it's not going to take that much.
I don't think Nevada. I think Nevada's fine. There's just concern.
7,400 votes. What do you mean?
Right, but the votes that are out are going to be good. The problem with Nevada is that they do accept ballots that were mailed right up to Election Day.
Yep.
So there's really no way of telling how many votes are coming in.
Final for 3, 4, 5, maybe 7 days.
So if you were to say right now that, hey, there's 10,000 votes that got mailed Election Day and they're going to be coming in over the next 4 days, they would say, all right, we're going to call it. It's, Biden wins.
So let me ask you
this. It's possible 50,000 votes got mailed on the last day.
Like, can we agree that more people voted and that's a good thing? More Republicans voted. Trump's going to have way more votes. Biden's going to have more votes than Hillary. So that's a good thing. So we think mail-in voting is here to stay, assuming we remain a democracy that's about trying to get as many people to vote as possible, right? There may be some people that don't want that. But so do we see the states change and say, okay, postmark by this date and then results on this date?
No,
Like
no.
everybody goes to the polls and votes, and we don't even start releasing the ship until 7 days later.
I want to throw this
have our
out.
big, because everybody loves a made-for-TV event, and there's no doubt. Now the networks aren't complaining that we're going to dribble on for 2 or 3 days and keep taking them in. But do we get the made-for-TV event where, okay, here it all comes? We're gonna start counting 7 days after the mail-in date and the actual polling date.
So one, I don't think it's possible because I don't think it would be decided on a federal level. So it's state by state. So politics enter that in terms of trying to be uniform. So that's not going to happen. But
one by one, wouldn't it be good for all the states to be a part of that?
Sure, in theory, but all the states don't. I mean, look at how separated we are now. I mean, I think the one thing I would love to see is more consistency on when the mail-in ballots are counted. Why can't we start counting them early and be ready on election day with the majority of the early mail-in ballots and at least have a number?
Well, the idea
can I answer that one?
And I know there are certain. I know and I know that was the play here. There are certain states where they set it up this way so that it would look like Trump would have a big lead, and then the mail-in ballots, they're invalid. Look, I mean, how can you make up that kind of number? Well,
no, but the honest theory is that there'll be people that know the results, and if they leak out, then people who are going to vote the other way and are getting beat go, well, shit, there's no point in going out.
I don't want the results. I didn't want the results early. I want them counted early.
I know, but that's the thing, that people doing the counting, you're saying you open it up to them to leak out what the results are. And for people, like, you can't make a fucking NBA draft pick without everybody knowing it before anybody in the building, right?
Ernst & Young, whoever's managing the freaking Academy Awards, Ernst & Young gets it done every year. We can bet those. Well, we can't bet them here, but none of the results come out there. I don't think. Although, Adam, would you argue that there actually are some leaks, and that's how some of the numbers are set?
Yeah, I think so.
Academy Awards?
Yeah, I think so. I believe so. Yeah. You always see big moves, and then you're like, oh, okay, this one won.
Yep.
And do you jump on it and make big bank?
I don't have an offshore account. It's not legal, Soren.
Come on. Make it a Friday holiday. I'm all for taking the day off to vote.
Also, somebody just actually tweeted me. I don't know if they're in here and they saw it and they tweeted at me, or if it's just random, but somebody said, why don't they just have the election, get it all together, like it's Tuesday, and then Sunday, we're like, all right, here's the results.
Election Sunday?
Right. But I mean, so you all vote Tuesday and nobody says a word for 5 days as they tabulate all the results, and they have like a selection show, like an unveiling that they can do. Now the problem is
they go little to big. They start with DC.
Yeah,
and
like the winner in DC,
Maine and Nebraska and Montana.
And they might even do like all right, here's all the Eastern Seaboard Democratic 3 electoral vote states. We've got DC, Rhode Island. You've all got your 3. There's 7 that go on the board right now. I mean, they could do that, but I think it's such big money now that they would never do that.
Right. They can't. It's an election. You can't do it.
You can't just rig it for TV.
No.
I would love it.
Well, we know you would.
So Adam Hill is on the record. Biden wins, but never gets the presidency.
Yeah.
That's his.
Although, like I said, there were some cracks today, so that was a little bit encouraging. But I also this is also why.
Can I take that back? Can we make a wager? And if Biden wins, which by all accounts, most people's accounts, he's going to win. I will bet that he will be the president. I refuse to quit on the country.
Well, you're a big favorite in this.
You said it. Like what? Like then shut your mouth.
I think there's a possibility.
Well,
do I get odds on?
It's not going to happen. I'm saying
no. But there's things between here and there. Okay, and I'll say this: if it's one state that swings it, then I will make that bet with you. What I'm saying is right now, and why I wanted to blow out, and it's still looking like it's possible. If Biden does win Georgia, and Pennsylvania, and Arizona and Nevada, then all of a sudden you've got to try to navigate like 6 different suits to get him in the Supreme Court and try to win all of those. Like that changes things. But if it's one state that could flip, if Trump does win North Carolina and Georgia and Arizona,
years ago at Florida,
sure. If it's one state, there's no chance if he wins by one state, there's no chance he actually gets to serve.
I feel like
who the hell is this?
I'm gonna take
this video is great.
I'm gonna take Adam's side because I feel like the man who can change this whole thing is actually in Nevada.
Video I heard, like everyone's saying, you gotta see this video. Is this it?
Yeah, probably.
Give that number. The Biden crime family stealing the election. The media's covering it up. The Biden crime family stealing this election. The media's covering it up. The Biden crime family stealing this election. The media's covering it up. We want our freedom for the world. Give us our freedom, Joe Biden. Joe Biden's covering up this election. He's stealing it.
Right.
And then he leaves. Where the hell was it? I heard about this, but I didn't see it. Where the hell was
Vegas? It's Vegas.
We got it all together here, baby.
What was the press conference?
Today.
Yeah, no, but what was the press conference about?
Oh, he was they're just announcing that they're going to wait till tomorrow for the votes.
Okay.
They're going to announce them in the morning.
Very secure area.
Big fella, registrar of votes, election department. But I agree with you. How does that even fucking happen?
Yeah.
Again, how does he not take a rubber bullet right to the fucking eye?
What are you talking about, rubber? I mean, it's like with the shit that goes on other things.
That it really is amazing. Like, do you not like the folks in this shot here? And there was a guy, a pretty decent sized dude, who stepped up and looked like he was like, "All right, this motherfucker swings on me."
He just stepped in there. He did. I will say this.
No, but he didn't look like he was like putting his fit. Like he looked like he'd been in the situation before and was kind of prepped. I think.
Play it again.
And play it all the way out too, because his reaction after it's over was great.
Tell me
he didn't rush
the screen.
Here, you gotta just be quiet for 1 second because the levels get all jacked up. All right.
The Biden crime family stealing the election. The media's covering it up. The Biden crime family stealing this election. The media.
All right. The way that guy walks up, he just saunters.
Yeah.
I thought was there's like it feels like there's some authority there.
I would agree. I would agree that if he decides to clench his fist, it won't be the first fucking time he's done it. I would agree with that assessment. He's not a big guy though.
But this guy, Mr. McTitty, he ain't got no shot. Like he was calm. He was calm. But I mean, he turns around. He's like, okay.
Are you talking about Joe Gloria, the greatest public servant in Nevada?
I'm sorry. I have, you know what? I have tits too, so I meant me.
Um,
That was kind of mean. Look at him. Look at how mad he looks.
So there's a couple of things that I love about this video. First, of course,
again, why was he not tackled, taken down, and had a knee put neck?
Because he's white. We're very calm state. First of all, that shirt is like selling out on the online store.
Of course it is.
Which is the greatest. It's the greatest part of this.
Oh, you know what? You know what's a bitch? If it were like 5 days before Halloween, then oh shit, everybody be with the chin hammock for the mask, and you'd be gold.
So first of all, I think that's Riley Snyder right there, reporter, just like waiting. Like, are we gonna get any real information?
By the way, you talking about the guy in the green?
Yeah.
So is the fucking story still standing here, or is it walking away? And should he be following it?
Of course he should.
Okay, I just want to be clear.
So a couple things. First of all, this guy is the best, of course. The guy that comes in and starts screaming. But there's a couple of problems. Like he didn't plan enough. He expected to walk in here and like the Biden crime family steal the election. The Biden crime family, and then dragged away. But instead, they let him go. And at some point, he just runs out of gas, and he's like, "I guess I'm leaving now." Like he didn't have any second.
He's not getting a reaction, and that's part of the problem. Is like, what do you think they were going to start chanting? And he's getting nothing, and they're all looking at him like, "Okay, let's go."
The best, Steve. Did you play it all the way to the end? Because my favorite part of the video is when he leaves, and then Joe Gloria is like, "Hey, I guess we're back to work now." Like he like doesn't skip a beat. I think he goes, "All right, what was the question?" I think that's what he says right at the end. It's just so great.
I do like talking about camo cargos. Let's point out the camo cargos were maybe the only thing better would have been some jorts.
The Biden crime family stealing the election. The media is covering up. The Biden crime family stealing this election. The media is covering up. The Biden crime family stealing this election. The media is covering up. We want our freedom for the world. Give us our freedom, Joe Biden. Your Biden is covering up this election. He's stealing it.
Where were we? What was the last question?
By the way, can I point out how has an unemployed guy taken your freedom?
Right.
Right. That's the whole thing. The thing I can't get my arms around. Like, listen, I was, full disclosure, raised Republican, right? And I believe in a lot of the conservative fiscal things, a strong military. Like, that's the way I was raised, right? I'm registered independent now. And there are things but I don't know how all the problems. That's awesome. I don't know how all the problems can be the fucking unemployed guy's fault.
Well, it's also like Trump doing commercials for his election, and like showing violence in the streets and riots or whatever he's showing, and he's like, "This is Joe Biden's America." Like, what? You're the president. You are what are you talking about? This is your America. What do you mean? It's great.
And it's Biden, give us our freedom back. How the fuck did he take it? If he has your freedom, you walked over to his house and set it on his lawn, jackass. He said he doesn't control anything.
So great.
I want to get the big boy version of this for like everyone I know, but I don't know if everyone will get it. In Nevada, they should.
Yeah.
Barbecue, beer, freedom.
Is that a Kavanaugh shirt? It's Justice Kavanaugh.
Why did he have some phrase like that?
I like beer. I like beers.
Was there
that's it.
Barbecue or?
Well, he likes freedom and beer, and America. I don't know.
Miller J appreciates it. All right, Adam, what do you want to do? We're going to do some football leans here. Do you want to go? You got to get some sleep. You got to work your numbers. You got to figure out what's going on in Arizona.
I mean, I'm just sitting here monitoring returns, so I can just hang out and listen.
Yeah, well, give us an update since you're our election headquarters. Has Nevada got off their fucking ass and counted anything?
Not nine. They're counting.
They're counting shit.
We have cameras.
Stop trying to perpetuate this myth on us.
We have cameras down there.
You're who that guy was talking about.
Yeah, that's true. No state numbers have come in at all. Well, we were expecting Arizona numbers at right now, 10 o'clock. But they shut down the counting because the stupid protesters who defeated the purpose of their own protest by shutting down the count. Georgia, we haven't had any results in about 34 minutes.
By the way, we were grabbing several 100,000 at a time, 500,000 at a time in Georgia. Now are we counting on our fingers?
Well, it's because of people like you that are like, give me updates every 10 minutes. And you're like, all right, now we're going to.
Every 10 minutes, man. How about every 10 hours?
I'm getting an update every 45 minutes or so.
Well, where are we at in Georgia then? Give me an update. Doing the show for an hour here. I haven't seen shit for an hour.
2.428,517 for Trump. 2.402475. So 26,000 and about 50. 26,050 separates them right now.
What percentage is reported?
Well, they throw the actual percentage up on like CNN, but if you look at some of the returns that come in, there's more of a spread, and it's
I'm going to tell you that's bullshit because that's the exact same number I was looking at like an hour and a half ago.
Yeah,
no, it's not. It just didn't change. It
just for an hour and a half, two different times they've updated it, and the margin of difference has been exactly the same.
The margin stayed the same. Yeah, the last dump was about equal.
Okay.
So the margin stayed the same, but there was some more votes added. But it's like 90. It says 91 to 95% right now.
I see 95 in every county around Atlanta, except Clayton County, which is at 84%. Savannah, That's Chatham County. That's got 87%.
Stop acting like you're some worldly traveler and you know what every fucking county is.
Dodge County, red zone is 71%. Just to guess, Trump's got 5839, Biden's got 2170. I have the map here. I have access to a county by county.
It's funny. One of my coworkers asked me on we were at a road game. I think it was maybe in like.
How many people do you think are actually there at Maricopa?
What,
are
protesting?
there?
Yeah.
Well, none now that they closed it down.
Or they just, I thought I just saw a shot that was live. They may have closed it down. They're still there. No, not the people, the protesters.
Oh, there was. I thought there was about maybe 300 or 400 earlier.
Oh no! Really?
You think more?
No, I think way less.
Oh, okay.
Yes, like 60.
I feel like when people have guns, it makes it feel like there's more of them.
I'm with you on that. I will not deny that, but I just saw like an aerial shot, and maybe it's because they're thinning out now. But it didn't look like that many people there. I'm too well.
Well, what's going on here, Adam? Because 33 minutes ago, Maricopa County Elections Department says the election department will continue to do our job, which is to administer elections in second largest voting. Blah, blah, blah. We will release results again tonight as planned. That was 33 minutes ago.
Well, maybe Adam should quit like just reading tweets from people who don't know what they're talking about. If you're going to be our official election result,
I'm trying to do this show right now. I don't have my war room set up right now.
there's always an excuse.
Nicole Valdez from ABC 15 says, we just left the building, still a growing crowd outside as we pulled away. Throughout the night, I spotted several men and women carrying weapons on them. Maricopa Vote tells us they will be reporting results closer to 11:30 tonight. Okay. So about 30 minutes. I don't know what time are they on? Do they don't switch, they switch, they're with us, what are they?
Don't switch. So it went because we just moved the clocks back last week, right?
So what, they're with us?
I think they're with us right
now.
now.
Understands this stuff.
No, I know because I got to go.
It's
spring.
It's 11:08.
In between on spring training. I start out when I go there. I think when they open, it's an hour, and then it goes to 2. So, and that's when we spring forward. It goes to 2. See,
it's 11:08 right now.
They're mountain now, right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, they're 11:08 right now. They're mountain.
Okay.
So half hour till we get results, but it won't be as many results because they didn't count.
It'll be 800 votes. They're counting with their toes, just like in Georgia.
I literally have.
And in Nevada, the party bus is picking up the strippers to take them in to count the votes.
There's a camera. There's a camera right now on the Fulton County voting room, and there's like 200 people, and they're scrambling through votes. I don't think they're counting with their toes 8 at a time.
Well, but then put some shit on the TV.
I'd rather get them counted right than fast.
My 14-year-old's got tomorrow off for parent-teacher conferences, and she's trying to stay up. She's like, Dad, I can't do it. I got to go to bed. She's pissed.
There you go.
What happened there?
Live shot of people yelling at each other an hour ago. Not that long, but that was a bunch of red hats, no mask except for there's a guy in the middle of the shot, this lady, and the guy near the camera. So
they're being polite to the anti-Trump guys. Says Fox 10. Meanwhile, NBC4 shows the guy shaking him 14 seconds later. You know, that's where we're at now, right? NBC's got the Democratic view, and Fox has got the Republican view.
Adam is onto something, or at least I am. That is the best way to go when things start shutting down. Because I know, Adam, you started going local Michigan media last night, right?
Yeah, for sure. And Wisconsin. I had columns set up for all the Wisconsin reporters, all the Michigan reporters. We're getting some good information out of there because they're actually talking to the election people, and they're not trying to put on a TV show like the networks are.
So I'm there. I guess I'm a dope watching the network shows.
No, I was watching it too, but you have to supplement that by following the reporters on the ground on Twitter.
By the way, put up Miller Vegas. I love that. That's great. Put that one up.
It's true. Let him finish the job.
No. Where are we at? What are you seeing? What do you got? What's it going to be? What are you looking at?
There's been no vote dump.
By the way, don't get me started. Let's go. Next topic.
Football, NFL.
There's some good comments, by the way.
I just want to get you updated first before we put up the Super Contest numbers. Soren, bad news. We didn't win the quarterly prize the second time. That was $100,000 in the Super Contest. We fell just short. The winner went 18-2 over 20 games.
What were we? 17-3?
Sure.
14-5-1.
We weren't that far out.
I mean, it's respectable.
If we'd eliminated all your picks, we would have done it.
Yeah, actually, this weekend we would have gone 5-0 if you eliminated my pick. I should have just listened to you on the Colts and Lions instead of the goddamn Packers.
No, you were in on at least 3 of them.
Well, Seattle was my favorite pick, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, the Broncos were money the entire way.
Yeah, that was great. I started texting you at 24-3. I'm like, well, maybe we'll get a miracle comeback to at least like cover, and then they win the goddamn
But
game.
you are honestly, like, have you not watched the NFL? Like you almost don't want to be the team up early,
Right.
From a gambling perspective, right? I'm not saying that team that's up early won't go ahead and win, but 14-9 Chiefs over Jets, and they're millions of fucking humps bragging up that they're up with the Jets. I nailed it. I knew it. I knew the Chiefs would mail it in, this and that. 35-9 final, right?
Yeah.
Like, you almost don't want to be in control early because they're always going to rally in the second half.
Yeah, the leader in the Super Contest, I think, is 32-7-1, and the Super Contest Gold, which was $5,000 to get in, I think is just 30-10. So we should have put up 5,000. We'd be right in the running.
And where are we at?
24-15-1.
Okay.
So we're 8 games out. Yeah, 8 games out.
Well, before this week, though, we had 20 and the leader had 28, so we're still 8 out.
Yeah,
that sucks. I thought we'd probably close by 1.
I love this. People are like 32-7-1, even more laugh out loud. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Now the winner's not going to be north of 80%. I think it'll settle in, but it'll settle in at probably 75 or 76% for the season, which
somebody's going to have the red hot year of their life. That's what it takes.
Actually, my new strategy for the next quarter is I am going to bet with my own money every one of the leaders' picks. That will work. Watch what happens.
Please don't. Please don't do that.
If I win, I win. If I lose, I win. What do you mean?
Are you going to bet the opposite with your own money?
No, I'm betting on them. Because if I bet on them, then there's the Cofield karma is on them.
There's no Cofield karma. Every time I talk to you, you're like, I shit the bet on this half, and I shit the bet on that half. And
I talk a good game. I do okay here and there. Otherwise, I'd be putting money into my account every fucking week, which I don't. So
okay,
it's play money. No, but do you hear what I said, though? If I win on the leaders' picks, then I win. If I lose on the leaders' picks, then I also win, because that means maybe we have a chance to catch up.
Oh, you're going to bet the leader? I thought you were saying you're going to bet our picks.
No. I'm going to bet straight up. I'm betting freaking straight up the leaders' picks.
Oh, that'll tank their ass.
Now, there's Big Chi, Mr. Tiger Gator. There's pushes. So we had a game a while back, I think, that landed on 3.
Yeah. And we're not 14-5-1 either. What'd you say? 24.
No, that was the quarter. Was 14-5-1.
Oh,
yeah. All right. Here's some picks. Or I'm sorry. Here's some lines. Here's the majority of the lines. So we'll start on the left. This is a Super Contest this week. Seahawks 3, Bills. Adam, Bills +3.
No. I don't think so. I think it's a good matchup. Sorry, new vote numbers just came in Georgia. That's why I was.
So what do we got? Give us the news.
Get out. Picks, get out.
2,429,783 for Trump. 2,406,774. So down to 23,000. It was 26 at last count.
3,000. Come on.
23,000. Yeah, cut off 3,000 from it. It's good.
We need a 50,000 vote move one way or the other.
Yeah. I will say that Josh Allen has been a disaster for 4 weeks. You know that. I do think it's the shoulder. And by the way, I noticed that he was on the injury report today, which I don't know that he has been very often.
The shoulder does go back to the Vegas game.
Yeah.
When he got jammed kind of on the left side of the field, he fell down and got up and was shaking it. All right.
It's not non-throwing shoulder, but he has been horrific ever since that game. So I think that's an issue, and it's going to be a shootout. The only hope that the Bills have is for weather, and I didn't see it was going to be too bad. So I would say the Seahawks are just going to score too many points. The Bills can't win a shootout, and that's what this is going to be.
What did the Bills do last week?
They had a barn burner where they were about to lose to the Patriots, and Cam Newton fumbled at the 10-yard line.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm on the Hawks. Go, chug.
Me too. Lean. Sorry. Not an official like it. Broncos at home again. + 3.5. Go back to the well or don't be an asshole?
The Broncos aren't at home. They're on the road.
That's a good point. Why do they do that?
The Falcons are at home. I don't have that wrong, do I?
No, you're right.
The Star is usually the home team, right?
Hold on.
And just from when I've looked at the line, I think the Broncos are on the road.
I like the home team on the bottom. Let's be traditional.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
I think you're wrong.
Oh, all right. Let me open my computer here. Going to make me.
We're all going to look at the lines elsewhere. We should know these.
Broncos. Whoops! I'm 2 weeks down the road. Broncos at Raiders. I'm worrying about my suicide pool.
Broncos Road. You're right.
Yeah. Stars at home. They just do it like that because the favorite is always listed first in the Super Contest card.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what are we thinking?
I'm off all Falcons games. Sorry.
Adam?
I don't like teams that are coming off the kind of win that the Broncos are coming off.
Okay.
I tend to just immediately look to go against them if I can find a reason to.
Agreed.
And I think I can find a reason to.
The fucking Falcons. It's the Broncos. You never, ever, 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 ever play the Falcons. You definitely do not lay points with the Falcons.
All right. Here's why I will. It's Steve knows I finally
he's a Falcons fan. He loves the Falcons.
Falcons whore, and he probably bets the Lions, right? Like you like the Lions against the Colts.
No.
The line always looks enticing because they got a quarterback and they got Galladay and they got this and they can't be that bad. And shit teams are shit.
None of the things that you listed are what I was going to point out. I have bet the Falcons almost every week for like 4 years. I finally was like, I'm off them. I'm taking the Panthers, and I lost, of course. That's not why I'm going against them. I'm going with the Falcons. I'm going against the Broncos because not any of the things you said. Obviously, they do have great explosive skill players, but watching back the last 2 games, the defense is fucking awesome now. They were so bad, and I don't know if it's just making the coaching change and go to a defensive-minded coach and maybe letting him put in whatever implement any changes that he wanted to. Their defense is playing out of their minds, and so that's why.
If you jump the Falcons and make some bets, I'm going to give you credit. I will tell you this. I know people who have played for Raheem Morris and been around Raheem Morris, and he is highly thought of by the people he coaches. And so if you want to say that like he's a gregarious guy, and I don't think he's dumb, right? I think he's a solid I think he's probably built better to be a college head coach, to be honest with you, because I think he will get players, and I think he has some schematics to him, right? And so I don't mind you saying the cancer's been removed, right? We did the surgery, and the cancer's gone, and Raheem Morris and the boys will circle the wagons because there is talent there. But the Falcons are just an infected team that I can't go near. I mean, I've tried to push that turd uphill for the last 3 or 4 years, and they are just a disaster. And I don't love the Broncos, and I'm with you. I think your Broncos' big win is a reason not to play them. That game's just cancerous to me. I don't want any part of it.
Next up, Titans Bears. Titans, man, overrated.
Bears.
Overrated. Bears getting 5.5.
The Bears love the tease down line. Bunch of jackasses will have the Titans plus a half. Bears take the game outright.
Wow.
Dang. Look at Ted feeding you stuff. Bears win.
You say that too. Well, Ted's a bright man. Maybe
I'm not willing to say.
Maybe Ted's my what's your fake Twitter called? Your my burner account.
Yeah. I'm not willing to say they're going to win it outright, but I do think it comes down to a field goal. So you got to take points in that situation.
I think the Titans' offense is kind of being exposed. I think they're one-dimensional, and even when you grind it out and have a great day on the ground, right? Like the Titans were ringing the bell a lot, and congratulations if you made a lot of money on the Titans when they were 5-0. But they're still just a 9-7 to 11-5 team. That depends upon where the ball bounces and how the other team plays. And I think Matt Nagy can coach, and I think Nick Foles can get hot. And I'll take my shot when I'm catching 5.5 that day's today.
Titans defense also kind of sucks, and they got no pressure last week on a really crappy Bengals offensive line. So Foles with actual time to throw might be able to do a little bit of damage. I'm not expecting a whole bunch.
You're laying 2.5 extra points because Derrick Henry runs for a lot of numbers, which doesn't equate to shit.
Vikings at home, Lions in town. 5.5. This jumped up from 4 earlier in the day because of the Matt Stafford issues, but I believe Stafford's playing, so I have a lean to the Lions.
You think he's going to play? Why?
He's playing. He's absolutely. He's playing. He's playing. No, he didn't have a positive. He had a close contact, and it was
Monday.
It was Monday. So he gets. We've been through this with the Raiders. If you have the close contact Monday, as long as you test negative all week, you get cleared for Sunday. So he will play as long as he doesn't test positive, and he'll have to do it without practicing, which probably sucks for a quarterback.
You know what we found during this COVID world? Practice is fucking Allen Iverson's a lot smarter than anybody thought.
I agree. I agree, except for quarterbacks.
That's
Make that case. I want to hear this one.
I think we've seen teams respond really well to not practicing, but I think if a team is practicing and they don't have their quarterback out there to practice, and he's not going through the reps, he can't be in the facility.
Ryan Tannehill didn't practice, and he won.
He practiced.
No, they didn't practice in their first game back, right?
Yeah, they did.
Who'd they play?
They played Buffalo, but they practiced. They weren't allowed to practice.
You want to bet the Vikings win 2 in a row? Have fun with that.
No, I think you have to take the Lions.
Yeah, I agree.
But 5.5 instead of 4.
Practice. So what's your?
No,
point? You're still taking the Lions.
I wasn't because it's value. It was 4. They moved it just because of no Matt Stafford, but he's going to play. So I would say you have to take him based on line value. But what I'm saying is I'm not making the case that you should bet against them because he didn't practice. I'm just saying I think it is the one position that it affects, but I think they'll be fine, and I think you still have to go with the value.
Okay.
I was just making a comment. I wasn't making a play based on the no practice.
I don't want to have to get a sleeveless, barbecue beers premium shirt and come interrupt your commentary there, Adam.
We also have time to pick this game because, as Petros pointed out, Kenny Golladay is kind of important, so
very important.
He's questionable for the game. Football team against the Giants. Giants, rough. Emotional spot, short week. They lose to the Buccaneers. Now we got football team. No one's jumping. Huh?
The Redskins front seven against the turnover machine, Denny Nichols. I'll take the football team all day on that. They're going to score twice on their own.
That says many.
I would tend. I love if I'm going to coach the game, the analysis by Adam, but we're not coaching the game; we're betting the game. And so, if it's that easy, why isn't this game Skins -4? At least 3.5.
It's not easy. Just my opinion on it is that the front seven.
My initial reaction was Redskins all day, right? Like people are like, "Oh, the Giants are good. They took the Bucks to the finish." So if anything, there's some kind of betting momentum for the casual player, although which the casual player means less and less to the actual line these days because there's so many people playing and playing a lot. So my initial reaction was definitely Redskins. But, who's quarterback for the Redskins?
I think you keep saying the Redskins, so CJ Cards fans getting upset. It's football team.
Football team. Then that's fair. I try to remember, but
what if Alex Smith plays? Would it
make a difference. It would make a difference, but they suck so many places, right? Like they have one wideout.
Gibson's playing really well.
He played well. What was it, last week or 2 weeks ago?
Couldn't get him for one fucking dollar.
Reference, by the way.
And I had to make a goddamn trade this week because I only had one running back. And I was like, I got to go trade for a goddamn running back. Now I could have had Gibson.
Shut up. I started a guy who wasn't playing. I think I'm Washington. You can't play the Giants, but I do want to know the quarterback situation. Stay tuned on that one. Steve, you want to say something, or
I have nothing on this game. I have no interest in playing it. I would lean Washington, but it's not a consideration. Chargers, Raiders, Chargers, War 3. It's now a pick. All the action is on the Raiders side. It's my favorite play of the week.
Which one?
Chargers.
Yeah, me too. I don't think it's a good matchup for the Raiders, and I think there's some fool's gold with the Raiders and their defensive performance, which came on a day where it was some of the worst weather that anybody around the team that I talked to has seen in a long time. I don't think you can say, well, they can play defense now. No, they can play defense if the other team is not allowed to throw the ball because you can't throw it past 10 yards or else it'll blow over the place. I didn't buy their defense. Their defense is awful. I think the Chargers finally figure out how to win. And in his 7th start, Justin Herbert eclipses the win total of Tyrod Taylor in 1 start.
I think you're on the wrong side.
Ooh.
I listen. I know the idea here is, everybody's talking about how the Chargers keep blowing all these leads, but they get these leads. The Raiders aren't going to like the Raiders. I've told you guys all year the Raiders are not as bad as you fucking homers keep trying to make them out to be. And we've missed opportunities because Steve is usually just, skiing in your wake about how the Raiders blow. And I'm like,
I picked the Raiders last week. I didn't put it in as one of my picks with you, but I picked the Raiders last week. I thought they'd win. They won.
I don't care what you do to kiss the ass of your listeners to try to gain ratings points.
Oh, my God, yeah. That's what we do.
I could give a flying shit about that. Okay.
Ratings.
What's the health of the Raiders?
Pretty good.
Josh Jacobs?
Getting better.
He's been back. He's been injured every game I've ever covered. I've covered every game of his career. He's been injured every game, but he's fine. Trent Brown should be eligible to come back. I don't think he will. Damon Arnett might come back. Bryan Edwards will come back. Really don't have any injury concerns at this point that are, major.
I'll take Gruden. Bad teams find a way to lose games. Chargers will find a way. I'll take the Raiders.
Steelers, I'll lay the 14 against the Cowboys.
Well, you either play the Steelers, you don't play it. Who's it? Cooper Kupp or
Cooper Rush? They have Cooper Rush.
Bradley Cooper, some fucks playing quarterback.
Don't they have Garrett Gilbert and Cooper Rush?
You're not. First of all, if anybody listening to this show in whatever the 74 different mediums that Cofield sends it out on, if any of you play the Cowboys, don't come back.
Give me the Cowboys.
You're shitting me.
It's 14 points at home in the NFL.
And it was 19 and a half. Well, okay, at home. I see what you're saying. I put it like, come on. You cannot, like, you might get this. You get it like what? How do you get it? You get there at 23-10 and you're going to beat your chest? Come on.
Yep.
It's a shit bet.
The Steelers don't know who's playing quarterback. They can't prepare. They have no tape because they don't know who's going to play against them. You could go any way you want to. And I do believe, as crazy as it sounds because it's the Steelers, I do believe the Cowboys will be able to run the ball. The Ravens absolutely were able to run the ball against them. Also, the Steelers are coming off a game against the Ravens.
Is there a quarterback run threat? One of these,
Dobbins and Edwards both got almost 100 yards. They were both able to run the ball. And yeah, you're right that Jackson opened it up. But
that you have to account for on every
Of course. It absolutely opened it up for him.
Listen.
Although that hasn't helped Ingram. Ingram hasn't passed 35 yards this year.
Okay. Let's take this one and the next four scenarios of a team with no quarterback. And I'll take the team that has one, and you take the turd. And because it's not just about like catching lightning in a bottle this week, right? There's certain things, like I've said to Steve, if we bet the Chiefs every week this year, if we take one play and we play the Chiefs every week, I'm going to tell you this. I'm not going to tell you we're going to ding the bell 16-0, 17-0, but I'm telling you we'll go 10-6 or 11-5. What's the Chiefs' record against the number, Steve?
6-2 or 5-3. I'm looking it up now.
It's fucking 6-2.
Damn.
Good teams get there. Okay? Shit teams don't. And you know what happens? Shit teams with no quarterbacks give an effort and a rah-rah because the other team no-shows. But then when it's time to go, they blow their doors off. And you know what happens? A bunch of fucking losers sit around the bar drinking Coronas talking about how, well, I was on the right side, except that guy dropped the ball or this fuck did this. Yes, there are mistakes in every game. You have to be good enough to overcome it. And if you have no quarterback, you can't overcome it. Like, you might steal this win. That is a recipe for death. If they don't have a quarterback in the NFL, you do not play them.
I like that. That sounds like a Petro show feature. This fuck did this.
Words to live by.
This fuck of the week brought to you by.
I have important work to do for a second, so I'm going to step away for 1 second. But if you give me 14 points or more at home with even the worst teams going against the team that just had an emotional win over their arch rival in a game that could be an AFC Championship preview, I will take it every time. So when you say, like, I'll give you that bad team every time, if you give me this spot with a bad team every time, I'll take it.
Okay. I mean, maybe 14 is a magic number. Like, I would totally love to go to work on that number, but then you would just be Steve sitting there staring at people. So, but I would like to look that action up and see what the history is on it. I'll bet it's not what he thinks it is.
Cardinals 5 at home. Dolphins big win against the Rams. Tua mania. I'll take the Cardinals.
And Tua did not play well, which is a reason to stay on the Dolphins.
Look ahead. Oh, really? I'll just tell you. Look ahead line on this was Cardinals 6. It opened at Dolphins 4.5. So right
Dolphins. No. It opened at Cardinals 4.5. You mean?
I'm sorry. Yeah, the Dolphins were plus 4.5. Yeah, so it's kind of.
I knew what you meant, but I just want to be clear. Yeah. No, and listen, I'm happy to get out of the way on this, and I'm happy to even I could be flipped on this because I am a whore for 5, 5.5, and 6-point dogs, right? Because just my years of when I used to take bets, all the humps that would play the favorites and tease them down, and they lost so often. Like when they won't even get you near 7, it's a big deal, right? So I do worry about how many times we've cashed on the Dolphins, but I like the Dolphins over. We talked about the Dolphins as a playoff team, and I think we were right preseason. And I think that the Dolphins continue to not get respect. And I think actually the fact that Tua, I believe Tua is going to be a good quarterback. I'm right, and I'm not going to run for the hills because his first game didn't look that good. I think he comes out and plays well. And I think he's a better prospect if he's healthy, which supposedly he is. He's a better prospect than Kyler Murray and would have gone 1-1 had he been healthy. And so I think you've got a near comparable quarterback. The experience of Kyler Murray, a year under his belt, matters. But I do worry about me taking the Dolphins all the time, but I don't see a lot of difference between these two teams. And I think this is a Tua look like shit. And either the Cardinals are going to win like 30-10 or the Dolphins are going to win this outright. I'm either totally misreading it, which I did on – who did I totally misread it on last week? We shit the bed hard on somebody.
We lost the Packers. I don't know that was your pick.
You
nailed everything else. It might have been one that didn't make the cut.
Yeah. Yeah, but I didn't wave us off. I mean, I could have waved us off. So it's my pick. If we put it in, it was my pick. Was it the Packers and they got killed?
Yep.
Who did they play? I forget.
Vikings.
Oh, Vikings.
Laying 6.5 in the contest and didn't compete. Got a backdoor cover if you did in play, which I did.
Got 6.5, another tease down line, and I didn't go with it. Maybe I'm overreacting to that. I don't know. I'm on the Dolphins right now, but I can listen to other factors I'm not looking at.
Ravens, Colts. Colts getting 2.5 at home against the Ravens. Ravens lose an emotional game. This is a short line. I'll take the Colts plus 2.5.
Yeah, I'm there too. I had the under on the Ravens, which was, right now they're 6-2, right? Or they're 5-2. I know they've only got 2 losses, so they're kind of trending towards still going over. But I don't think they're going to get there. I always thought that there'd be, market correction on Lamar Jackson. I think they're a really good team. I think Harbaugh's a really good coach. So this could blow up in our face. I would believe in the Ravens if it were 4.5. Then I'd think that there was some confidence on it. Colts have a really good defense. Phillip Rivers has learned he sucks and is trying not to do too much. And
finally learned.
I think there's a reason to be on the Colts. I think the Ravens, they made that trade for Ngakoue for a reason. They're really questioning themselves offensively. Hollywood Brown is not becoming. Now, maybe you can put it all on Lamar Jackson if you want. But it's not a good sign when Willie Snead is catching 100 yards worth of passes. Willie Snead should be your third or fourth receiver. So I think there's real question marks there. And I think everybody's going to plan on a Ravens bounce back. And I don't think it comes. I think the Ravens have question marks. I like the Colts too.
Colts, great defensive line. Also, keep in mind the Ravens have now lost Ronnie Stanley, Vegas guy, who just got $98 million. Paying him off for being a great left tackle. He's out for the season. So
yeah, no, I like Colts. Adam?
Chiefs. Oops, I think Adam's busy. He's working.
Well, he came back on. I didn't know if that meant he was back.
No, there was possible results, but false alarm.
Wait,
you
what?
don't have to leave the screen to check election results, Adam. You're our election insider.
I didn't leave. Steve kicked me out.
I did kick him out.
Oh, okay.
Just trying to respect the process.
Maricopa County, 30 minutes. They're doing final audits.
By the way, I do see another one of the guys with the automatic or semi-automatic rifle with the vest and the clips and the gear and the dip and the shit. You ever
cool
see
guy.
Zero Dark
Cool
30?
guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you can do it too, brother. Don't be a pussy. Arm up.
Yeah, with your gear and your dip and your bullshit. I love that. That's my favorite part of that whole movie. You know what I'm talking about?
No,
Have you ever seen Zero Dark 30?
I have not.
Oh, fantastic movie. She's the analyst who said this is where Osama bin Laden is. And they decide they're going to go get him. And she's there, and they're getting ready, the Navy SEAL Team 6, I guess it is. And they're sitting at the base wherever they're going to take off from before they go. And they're waiting around for the final word to go get him. They finally bought in. She's been trying to convince them for months and months that this is where bin Laden is. You got to go. And, there's a guy, one of the SEALs is like, why, she's like, well, why should I believe you? Or why should, whatever it is. Like, she goes, because I'm the one who found him. It's like, well, why don't you listen? I wanted to drop a bomb on his ass. Okay. I don't want any part of you guys with your gear and your dip and your bullshit.
I like it.
I did see the movie. It was good.
Let's take a break for a little pick me up real quick. I like songs.
Okay.
The deplorable choir. We don't care if you're white, don't care if you're black. We don't care if you're gay.
Oh, no.
We're all under attack. We
Fuck off.
don't care if you're rich.
Where'd this
We don't care.
What happened?
Yeah, where'd this come from?
It's old. I was just thinking of some songs, how they're doing today. They're doing okay. We don't care if you're black. Oh, Jesus.
If you're poor.
Oh, fuck off. That's it. She's out. We're all
What's her name?
Commodore
Karen?
64 shutting down.
Yeah.
You're out, honey. Goodbye.
You know, that probably was a good idea, but really poorly executed.
It was. I have to download everything. I could also set up the computer I bought 11 months ago to replace this one. I'll probably do that at some point. More picks?
Is there a better celebrity on Twitter than Richard Marks?
Is there a better what? Tweeter?
Is there a better celebrity tweeter than Richard Marks?
Old
Yeah,
singer?
Yeah, he's vicious.
Really?
Great.
Fucking hates Trump more than anything in life.
He just tweeted because he was responding to Trump getting flagged like 10 times by Twitter for lying today.
Yeah, he keeps getting blocked.
Richard Marks said, "I've tweeted at least 5 times to Trump, Trump Jr., and Eric that their dad wants to fuck their sister, and not once has Twitter flagged it as inaccurate."
That's wrong.
I told you. Yeah, that's wrong. After the hearty laugh. But by the way, do we have a chance? Do we have a chance to get him on the phone? Where is Curtis tonight?
Yeah, you want me to text him and see if he wants to pop on and give some inclination?
Sure, why not?
Let me see.
Adam, did you make a pick on the Ravens, Colts, Cardinals, Dolphins?
I didn't have a pick of the Cardinals Dolphins. I'll take the Ravens, though. I think they bounced back from last week.
Okay. Panthers, like Soren just said, 6-2 against the spread, consistently kicking ass. Pat Mahomes is an American hero. I saw that he bought some voting machines. So they were like, we don't have any voting machines. He's like, fuck you, I'm buying them.
Who did?
Patrick Mahomes. You didn't hear this?
No, he paid for a hat. Yeah.
Good for him, man.
Yeah.
Chiefs are 10.5 against the Panthers. Chiefs at home. Panthers. Adam, you like the Panthers, right?
I do. I don't like them against the Chiefs. They do get McCaffrey back, which is obviously a big thing for them. I don't know what level of conditioning and readiness will be at to play a football game. And I don't know how much it matters in this game. I know Soren just said blindly take the Chiefs every week and you'll be fine.
I know, but that's not to be gauged. I mean, you got to listen, Mr. Just take what I want to hear. Like, you got to look at the big picture. My point,
I agree with you.
This is what I told Steve, and we haven't been on him, and I'm saying it's cost us.
Yep.
Right? Because I said, look, one of the things I want to consider is we take the Chiefs every week, right? And I'm telling you, we'll know that 1/5 of our selections go 10-6, or 11-5. And right now they're 6-2. So I don't think they're going to go 12-4 because I think there'll be a market correction. And I actually think this is a spot to maybe grab the Panthers if you're in a one-off game. But my mindset is when you bet against the Chiefs, you got to win twice. You got to game plan, you got to execute, you got to get them down, and then you got to finish, right? Because the 49ers in the Super Bowl was not a bad bet. And the Chiefs made it look stupid in the last 7 minutes. Okay, and that's how explosive they are. And people thought that they weren't that explosive. They are that explosive. And they are that explosive whenever they actually need to go get it. So, but I do think that they've got a bye week next week, the Chiefs do. So there's a bit of a look ahead. I think Teddy Bridgewater is a real quarterback. I think Matt Rule can coach. And I think there's, it's not an overlay at 10.5, but the letdown factor plus the fact that Carolina's lost several games in a row means there might be some line value in Carolina. But that being said, you got to really love the opposite side of the Chiefs to go get him because they can be asleep for a half and then blow you up in a quarter.
I actually wasn't taking a shot at you for your Chiefs. I was just saying I know you like the Chiefs because you could take them every week and they're going to cover the majority of the time. I was trying to look for where Carolina is right now. I knew they were down low. 25th in DVOA.
Would you stop, Steve? It didn't work. Give it up. Give it up. Or get better internet.
That's true. Yeah, they're 25th.
We don't care if you're rich, don't care if you're poor. We just know what we're fighting for. Sing it. Real women vote for Trump. We don't need no liberal chump. Yeah, real women vote for Trump. Oh yeah. Real women vote for Trump. We don't need no liberal chump. Yeah, real women vote for Trump.
I think that might be why he lost.
I'm old, so this isn't saying much, but they could all get it. Let's do it. Even the one on the right with the whatever. I'll leave it at that.
Don't go there.
What happened?
Don't go there.
You know, that's the only reason I played it, just to make that stupid comment. Just an idiot, undisciplined idiot. Are you done with your this silly argument? It's
By the way, Curtis said he's in bed. He'll pass tonight.
Oh, come on. You work with whatever. I'll leave that alone.
He saw you. Were you stand up
What a
like
bunch of pussy.
warrior? No.
You're in good shape, Curtis. Come out of the freaking hobbit hole. He's not a hobbit. He's a big guy. But come on, whatever. Your giant lair. Come out and celebrate a little bit. Show some enthusiasm.
He
Far from over.
I know you seem like the most confident one.
me or Curtis?
Adam.
I'm getting ready for the actual battle.
The real downfall.
This was the easy part.
Motivation is a problem for Curtis.
This was the easy. Motivation's a bit of a problem.
Yes.
Once he's got his jammies on and his brownie, he's done for the night.
Curtis, like he will say himself, he's 50 some odd years old, living in an apartment by himself. Like there are challenges along the way.
Not much left. All right. Last two games. Are you done? Come on.
Carolina's 30th in defense, 20th against the run, 20th against the pass, 26th against the run. They can't defend anybody. I don't think that's a good formula for picking the Chiefs.
I'm not picking against the Chiefs ever. So we will not be on Carolina, but I'm telling you that there is conceivably some value here, but no.
When McCaffrey's announced as officially back, I'll take the Chiefs -7 because there'll be a complete overreaction to it. So
then I'll 100% be on the Chiefs. And McCaffrey will have a big day statistically because they do struggle to cover the running back out of the backfield, but like 8 yards at a time is not what beats you. And they'll also run him too much because they're justifying the contract.
Let's see. Buccaneers 4.5 against the Saints. We covered that game. Buccaneer. We
haven't covered that game.
I meant Aaron was saying Seattle and the Bills. I think we're all three of us on the Seahawks.
We haven't been waiting all night because we covered it already.
Waiting all week.
But not tonight. So where are we at on the Saints? I think I got a side.
Mine Saints.
Slightly in Saints.
I like the Saints. I mean, I think, I was feeling like some people are like, oh, the Bucs didn't look that good against the Giants, but I think they're going to – no. I think the Bucs – I think all this bullshit about the Bucs being like the best team in the NFL, spare me.
Stupid.
By the way, I do think you owe Aaron an apology because we do start early on Wednesdays, 9 o'clock Pacific instead of 10:30. You were kind of clunky to him there.
How was I – what happened?
You were clunty.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Sorry, Aaron, but we did. We were all did anyone like the Bills at all?
No.
Yeah.
I forgot. I don't even remember what was the game.
Seattle 3 against the Bills. You said Seattle. I said Seattle.
We're all in Seattle. We're Seattle or walk. Yeah. Come on, Steve. It's your game.
Sorry, I was just reading. Pro Martini Maker said those chicks were on the young side for me. Yes, they are. Yes. I would die with any of them. Yes. I would have a heart attack. It's my game. Patriots and the Jets. I mean, it's Jets or stay away, right?
Monday Night Football.
It is Monday Night Football.
Jesus.
We can't get enough New York team primetime action.
I still feel like It's going to be
Who
Packers,
is the dipshit
Packers,
that picks
Saints.
the games for ESPN? Like they seriously, like who picks them? Like where are they? Seriously, do they pick like 40th on the game list?
Seems like it.
$2 billion deal.
And their games are not good coming up. Thursday night actually got kind of loaded the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, because they accurately assessed what the teams are going to be, and they had all the turds in the first 4 weeks, and they have good games almost every week the rest of the way. What is the rest of Monday night?
Actually, I overstated. It's not bad. Minnesota, Chicago, 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now. Rams and Tampa Bay.
Chicago. What is good about that? That's
Seattle, Philly, week 12. Week 13, Buffalo, San Fran. We'll see if San Fran has anything left at that point. Baltimore, Cleveland. That's week 14.
That's not that bad.
I'm not telling you.
Soren, are you anti the purge?
What does that mean?
The Jets?
Oh, no. One of your guys, Big Chief, said, "Would you rather watch the purge or the Jets?" Are you anti the purge?
I've never seen it.
I figured it was something you guys like discussed, and that's why he brought it up.
I don't know what that is.
It's Big Chi. He's all fucked up tonight.
It's a great movie. I love it.
Just went the way he wanted to.
You don't wait, but you've never even heard of the purge?
No, I've heard of the movie The Purge.
Okay.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
I know the Purge series of movies. I've just never watched them.
Okay. You should.
So there you go. Jets, come on, Steve. Grab you some.
No,
Jets.
I'm not taking the Jets.
Are you gonna lay 7 with the Patriots?
Exactly.
No, I'm not gonna play the game. This is one of those absolute. I'm watching with my heart. I can't even judge accurately with my head. I'm rooting for the Jets to lose every game by lots of points. This will fuck me up if it's close.
I actually think there's a chance that the Patriots could, for 1 week, just get real angry and actually blow somebody out.
I mean, the conspiracy theory is Belichick kind of laid it out this week. He's like, listen, it was going to be a tough season. The transition, it's not always easy, though, the transition. So now Jets fans are like, this asshole is going to lose on purpose. He's going to stick at the Jets by trying to lose on purpose. So if I'm Gase, I get to the Pats 40, I punt on first down. Take the fucking ball. Go.
We'll walk through this though. I mean, if you're Belichick and you are a genius, which most people have come to that consensus. If you are looking at the situation right now, if you think Trevor Lawrence is as good as people think he is, don't you have to lose the game?
Yes.
To keep, not to get him yourself, but to keep him from the Jets.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I had this conversation yesterday with George Sharuri from Pro Football Focus, and he's like, was it him or no? Was it Trent Green? I don't know. I was talking to somebody, and they're like, oh, Bill Belichick. I said, listen, is Belichick switch gears and he's going to the tank? No, he's too competitive. He can never do that. And I'm like, he's actually not too competitive. He's actually got too much vanity if he's trying to win this year.
Yeah.
Lost Tom Brady, and then he had the whole world opt out. He should have immediately jettisoned any dead wood he could have and tanked the shit out of the season. But he's got vanity, and what I think it is, he got caught up thinking, I'll grab Cam Newton on the cheap, good value, nice try, if you're trying to win, because he's trying to outdo Tom Brady. But in reality, he should have thought big picture about his team, and there was no chance the Patriots were going to win. They were a team on the decline, and he should have been all in on the tank because nobody has more equity built up than he does. So he should have been on the tank, and he should be on the tank right now. And I think it's possible that he's come to his senses and said, okay, I wanted to beat Brady, but that ship sailed. Now I got to think big picture. How do I build a championship team? And it's not Tom Brady, and it's not Jared Stidham. It's not Brian Hoyer. So he's got to get down in place to either get Trevor Lawrence, get
Justin Fields,
Trey Lance, like whoever they like. He's got to get down there and get in position.
So what does he do? Adam?
I mean, that's next level tanking right there because I'm not even proposing that he's tanking to get Trevor Lawrence. I'm proposing that he's tanking one game to not allow Trevor Lawrence in the division for the next 10 years, which is brilliant.
It's brilliant.
No, but he should have been on that from the beginning.
I agree.
I'm sorry. It's like no, it's actually not next level, and that's the problem. Is like they're like walking in baseball was considered like you don't do it. Take the bat off your shoulder, asshole, and drive in a run. Right? That was perpetuated for 150 fucking years in that game. And then finally somebody went, "Oh shit, this is a good idea." And now it's the obvious choice. Tanking. It's not like, oh, well, it kind of worked for the Astros. No, it worked phenomenally. And you have no other choice. And if you're truly competitive, you want to win championships, and you go do it. I'll tell you what this is. This is a litmus test. This is a shit detector on Belichick. Is it Brady or Belichick? If Belichick's a genius, he will tank his way down to better picks. Otherwise, he's going to muddle his ass around mediocrity. He's going to look like Marty Schottenheimer for the next 5 or 6 years. He'll make him better, but they're not going to sniff the championship.
Well, I think what we're saying here is he screwed up by trying to compete at the start, and this is really the only way he can salvage things is to try to lose as much as possible. He's not in control, but he can try to take away control from one of his chief rivals. It could be the chief rival if they get Trevor Lawrence and they actually improve and they hire a real coach. So it's a long road for the Jets. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's the next coach?
Anyone else need to be cheered up?
Oh, God, here we go.
I don't think there's sound on this one.
Better find it.
No, there's no sound.
Otherwise, we're just watching a little dance competition. Like,
Yep. I'll find it eventually. What do you do? Not like we plan out the show.
Is it fucking amateur hour here?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Get it together.
The day starts off. The show goes on, in the afternoon. I yell at my producer. I say that he's incompetent, and then I become incompetent producer of this thing. That's how the world goes around.
Hi, Ari.
He's not even in here. He got yelled at like twice today. Not a big deal.
Not bad.
Good times. Good times.
Very good times. Very good times. All right, those are all the winners. I think we just picked a 14-0 card, even with games I didn't pick.
Well, we can't. It'd be 13-1 because we're on opposite sides of the Steelers Cowboys game.
We did split a few times. So. Well, not if we're in the tout business. We just say whatever we pick.
No. We had a winner. One of us had a winner.
Yep.
True.
Win's a win. National Sandwich Day was yesterday, Soren. On the spot, what's your favorite sandwich? Go.
Can I go last? I got to think, man. I love me a sandwich.
That's a tough one. All right, might be a Mr. Good Sense sub. I don't know.
Adam?
Nope, you're out. Adam?
Well, I would go beef on Weck, but I think
that's a good choice. God damn it. We should have done a sandwich draft tonight. We'll prep that for next year's National Sandwich Day. Beef on Weck. Explain the beef on Weck to these Kansas City people.
Basically, it's a roast beef sandwich, but it's on a very special roll, Kemelec roll, which basically only get in Buffalo.
What's that indigenous to? Who's the big?
It's Buffalo.
Buffalo. No, I don't think it's Buffalo.
It's 100% Buffalo.
It is.
And yeah, you can get them at Naked City here in Vegas. I think it's the only place you can get it in Vegas because they don't sell the rolls anywhere. But yeah, it's a phenomenal sandwich.
Easy, but we have to stand up tall and answer freedom's call. USA, we're the land of the free and the home of the brave. USA, the stars and stripes are flying. Let's celebrate our freedom, inspire proudly freedom to the world. Ameritude, American pride, it's attitude, it's who we are. Stand up tall. We're the red, white, and blue, fiercely free. That's who.
As soon as it comes up.
Our colors don't run, no siree.
I would love to laugh at all of their faces right now.
It's not over yet, brother.
Over here, over there.
Shut up.
Freedom and liberty everywhere. Oh, say can you
Don't like what they're saying?
easy, but we have to stand up tall and answer freedom's call.
Why would you interrupt that? Do you hate America?
Yes.
It's over.
Not now. Not anymore. By the way, as soon as this is declared, my profile picture is becoming an American flag, and it's gonna be the greatest thing ever. I cannot wait.
Why is it the greatest thing ever?
Oh, this is just the amount of people that are just gonna get so mad about it because they've been screaming at me about, I hate the country because I don't love Trump for so long. Like, oh yeah, all right, now who's patriotic? Let's go.
And the fact that that's just been sitting there bubbling in your cauldron.
Oh, I can't wait. I already downloaded the picture.
The patience to wait to unleash it.
Oh,
fantastic.
Can't wait.
Is it just the flag, or is there a photo of you?
It's just I should use the Team USA one that you just used earlier.
Yeah.
Which is a good one.
Not
that one.
I changed mine 3 months ago.
It's good.
Yes. I wear a cowboy hat. I'm a New Jersey Cowboy.
What about? Didn't you just post a photo of me that I should use? Maybe.
I did post the picture of you getting a blowjob after Team USA won a soccer game. But I trimmed it. It was like 8 years ago. I trimmed it, and I don't have now. I can't find the photo of. I don't know if you ever saw this picture, Soren, but we sent it out on Twitter a little while ago, so I know you retweeted it. But it's Adam in the USA wig, and he's got his head back, and he was really disappointed. But a woman was leaning across him to grab a purse in the photo, and it looks like she's blowing him. But I don't have the picture. I can just describe it. I don't have the picture. So,
well, you have the cropped photo, don't you?
I do somewhere. Yeah. High quality stuff. All right, Soren, we just bought like 3 minutes for you. Best sandwich.
Oh, best sandwich. Well, I do love my Good Sense, and my Good Sense order is a 12-inch roast chicken on wheat, standard dress, plus mayo, spicy mustard, extra pickles, black olives, green peppers, and pepperoncinis, or also known as what do they also call them? They call them. I got another name anyway. I love that. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, classic. Yeah. I do love that sandwich. A good Reuben is tough to beat. I
had Reuben number one.
A good Reuben is tough to beat. There's so many. I mean, I love the sandwich. I mean, I could eat sandwiches every day for the rest of my life. There's so many great sandwiches.
Fill in the blank. What's the line after that? Because I used it today. Fat shame myself. I'm like, I love sandwiches. Just look. Come on.
No doubt. I mean, oh my God. Even something as weird as when I was a kid and my mom would make it for my lunch because we were poor. The hot dog sandwich, white bread, ketchup, hot dog. Sliced in half, right? Put side by side. Even that was a treat. Bread's such a wonderful thing. I haven't had carbs in 2 months, Steve. Why you tease me like this?
Is that right? Really? Have you cut them out? Good for you.
Yeah, I'm down to just under 380.
There you go.
Impressive.
Yeah, I was talking about it. No, we were watching a food show last night. The SO and she actually shocked me because she comes from not that I grew up like in a poor background, but. She comes from a little better background. She's a little more finicky eater than I am. I'm an animal. And she was actually loving on some bologna. I was like, I cannot believe you ate bologna as a kid. That shocks me. But who doesn't eat bologna, man? Who doesn't love bologna? Low grade meat.
I don't have a problem with bologna.
Nope.
I refuse.
Why? What's the problem?
It's my past.
Are you trying to?
You had a fried bologna sandwich?
Of course.
Yeah.
What's wrong with it?
Oh, look at him. He's
all
down.
I have a job now. I have money.
Oh, I like this.
You ever had a bologna on hand sandwich?
On ham?
Hand.
Oh. Probably.
I had some of those days.
Not in a long time.
I've had some of those days.
That's a good stopping point. I want Adam to build out now down the road. I didn't realize you turned a corner. You're like, I have money now. I don't eat shit anymore. Wow, you